Welcome to the tutorial for configuring a clock. The first thing we're going to do here is we're going to open up a file. Any program PLC and Studio 5000 will work. And we're going to go ahead and implement, and we're going to configure the clock. That way you know exactly what to do, and you can go ahead and set up a clock pretty easily this way. All right, now that we're in to the program and it's loading up here, what we're going to go ahead and do is we got to get the AOI first. And so once this loads up, we're going to import the AOI. Now remember, once you import an AOI, there's no going back unless you're going to download to the processor. So make sure that everything is configured properly. And the AOI, like I said, is a set alone program that you can just drop right into your PLC. Pretty much does everything for you. We'll go here. I'm going to right click on import add-on instruction. And then here in Jonesville, what we're going to go ahead and do is click on controls drive. And we have a MES folder. You go to AOIs, clocks, always go to the active. If you ever make changes, obviously put your archive in the archive folder and save your active right here. So I'm going to go to MES clocks. I'm going to drop this in. Okay. I'm going to go click OK. Now once that happens, it's going to go ahead and set that in there. Okay. And I am just going to go based off of the ahead behind logic per station. And so one thing that I like to do first is see how many stations I'm dealing with in the processor. So I'm just going to go here, just type in ABC. So it looks like, hang on. Okay, bear with me here. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to just go to the MES subroutine and this way I just cross-reference this. Nothing there, lovely. Go here. Okay. So we have left-hand data. We have right-hand data, I believe. Maybe just left-hand data. I don't. Whatever. Yes. So like I said, I just like to put it in a location where all the MES data is. So it looks like there's 3 stations in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a rung. And I'm going to go ahead and I am going to drop in the AOI. Now, this is the most important piece of the operation, and for the program to run successfully on the ignition side, you want to first make your string MES underscore clock. make sure it's capitalized as well. And then you can go ahead and say op, whatever operation you are. So this one is going to be op 10. I mean, you can do station, but honestly, op is, it's more clear as to what you're doing, and it's going to be uniform, right? So all the other machines are set up as op. So if you want to make your life a little harder, save it as station. Now here I'm going to create this, and now it's created, and I'm going to add a rung here. I'm going to add a couple moves here, because what this is going to allow me to do is move my local variables into my AOI variable inputs. Okay, so first one is going to be PLC time. Again, the PLC time is going to be hour, because that's what's going to reset our clocks. Okay, now not every time in your PLC is it going to be PLC time. It could be something completely different. But just make sure you find the local time on the PLC. Let's see here, local PLC clock hour. And then this one is going to be your CAD ID. This always has to be the CAD ID, right? So it looks like this is my Mars order number current, okay? Okay. Whoop. CAD ID. Okay, so now that's done. And I'm just gonna go to, luckily we have here a head behind setup, so I can just go there and look at my logic for clear to enter. So I'm just gonna save that, copy paste it, and then I'm gonna change the OTE to clear to enter. Pretty simple. Obviously you probably understand, but if you don't, now you do. Again, I don't know who's going to be watching this, so please don't take offense that I'm explaining everything in detail, because I know there's some people that are much better than me at the PLC, so again, don't take offense. I just don't know who's going to be watching this video. Process complete. We're done there. So now we have pretty much a whole clock officially set up. We have our PLC hour, we have our clock, or we have our CAD ID, and we have when the clock starts and when the clock stops. I know you can see this reset, but that reset is going to be coming directly from our program in Ignition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finalize that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Ignition program, and I'm going to go home just so you can understand where I'm actually going. I'm going to go to clock config, or config clocks. And right now we are working on 222. I'm going to select the part type. Now for every part type, you want to make sure that you go ahead and register it, because it has a CAD ID unique to it. I'm going to check, and it's like, hey, does it not have a target associated with it? Please configure. The next step is, hey, you got to check the compatibility, so scan the machine. So I do that, and hopefully it pops up. If it doesn't pop up, sometimes like you might have to restart the program, or again, it'll pop up. Sometimes the scan time to scan the PLC takes a little longer. Of course, you're going to be difficult. So you bastard. All right. Okay, let's try this again. It shouldn't happen, but it does happen, unfortunately. So you can actually see the troubleshooting taking place. Again, this is in Jonesville MES dashboard. Okay, now that we have it set up, let's try this bad boy again. 222. Okay, I'm gonna select the part type. I'm gonna check it. Nope. Scan it. There it is. Okay, op10, as we can just see. Now I know you don't see MES clock, but that's what the program will look for. That is like the home base. Like, hey, if it sees MES clock, it's going to take the operation and put it here. Okay, double click on it. Okay, station will now set up your target time. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put 22 in there. I'm going to add the station. Perfect. So now it's been added. And as you can see, op10 is available. And if I go to live look, it said, so I know you've just seen that no live feed. That means your CAD ID does not match if you have multiple part types. So you might have to register a new part type, and that's fine. But as you can see, it looks like it just got reset. And again, you can exit the live feed. You can change your time here. If I change my time, I can say, hey, you know what? Yes. And I want to up it to 25. I play it. Now it's saved. And now we're at 25 seconds. So that's how you're going to change that. If I want to add a station, okay, doesn't have any available stations, checking reference table. A reference table I'll explain in a little bit. That's a little different. So we're going to go through one more station. I know this video is kind of getting long, but I just want to make sure that you guys understand how you use this when you know. So here we go, op10. I'm going to do now op30. So I'm going to come here. All I'm going to do is change that, and I'm going to go new. I'm going to create it. Okay, so now I'm just going to go find that op station 30, again, because that logic is already set up. And it's going to be cleared to enter. Okay. And then what we're going to also do is we're going to go to ahead behind. We're going to copy and paste it. We're going to go to the MES. We're going to paste it. We're going to take clear to enter. We're going to say process complete. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Good deal. Now, we always have to make sure that we put our inputs in there as well for our variables. So this is a pretty simple process here. It's just going to really be copy and paste this, and then just make sure you change your destination tag here to what we just made, which is op30. Perfect. Op30. Okay. All right, now we're going to finalize this bad Jackson. Awesome. So now we should be getting those inputs in, which we are. Great. And now we're going to go ahead and come back to the program. And we are going to add a station. Now, once we add a station, hopefully this thing doesn't freeze again, which it might, who knows. And we're just gonna wait a little longer. It's doing something, I don't know. I hope it pops up. It will. But again, I think it happens so fast, it sometimes messes with the system. Oh, it's a bummer. That's okay. We got a little bit of an error, but I'm just going to run it again. Or I'm just going to go out of the home position. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to say here, station op 10. We're going to try to add the station again just to see if it works, because it's being kind of difficult. Let's make sure that we set MES clock op 30. Okay, which we did. Hey, there it is. Perfect. So we might need a little prayer, you know, for it to work. But now we can set the time. Perfect. We're going to add the station. Once we add the station, now we're ready to rock and roll. Op 30 is set up. We can look at the live feed, and we are good. There it is. So it took some time. Now, as you can see, what's going to end up happening is we have our CAD ID, which is our part number in our ignition here. Okay, that represents that. And then go ahead and we have our reset. And so I'm just going to show you guys how this works for one time here, and then we'll end this video. So this is if you run off shifts, right? So let's say you're running an off shift and we're a live feed, and you're like, hey, I'm going to run a 12-hour shift, and we're not going to get done till 5. Okay, that's fine. So now end of shift is going to be, again, it's an hour, so we got to have it changed to an integer, and we send it to the PLC. Once we send it to the PLC, hey, there we go. So now it's going to reset at 5 p.m. instead of 3 p.m. But make sure you always reset these back. So 3 p.m. Again, that way what's going to change is all these will change to 0 at that point. So the new operator will then go ahead and be able to run, and the overviews will work more efficient, and more importantly, the data will be accurate. So if I go to overviews, these are all getting set in here now. As you can see, I believe we just did 222. There they are. So once I add op 180 into the config, it'll go ahead and show up here. And on our next video, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at how this is all configured.